Hey guys, welcome to this question and answer session with the Pattern Trader. My name is Mark Shawzin, the Pattern Trader. Be happy to take any questions you have for the next 30 minutes or so. Kind of actively trading a few stocks on the NASDAQ here. I bought Zoom into a low this morning, so we had a huge key reversal last week where Zoom made a new low, closed right into the old resistance around 338, and then today we opened about $6-7 lower. So I was speculating that we would at least come back through the highs. We're trading now in the high of the day in Zoom around 341. I started buying Zoom at 332, 333 this morning. I'm actively also long a stock called STEM, STEM. Hey Yoni, how you doing? So Yoni, check out this stock. Kind of found this, somewhere, and started buying this about $4 ago. And this thing looks like just one of these momentum plays that are just going to go haywire with all of the momentum that's happening, in these meme stocks and what have you. I don't think this is a short covering play, but it just looks like it's going to unwind to the upside. Hey, Scott, how are you? Scott, let me know what you're trading. Let me know any questions you have. So I'm actively trading a few stocks on the NASDAQ. I bought Zoom into a lower opening this morning around 333. It's trading around 341 now. And, it's breaking above those old resistance highs. So I think Zoom could also have one of these short covering rallies where it's got such a lot of resistance at this 335 area that once it now gets above here, so Yoni, I just found the STEM. So STEM had like a head and shoulders, which should have suggested that it goes lower. Then it had an inverted head and shoulders. And now it looks like there's just a lot of blue sky to run. It looks like it could run all the way back to the highs around $50. So I certainly think it's good for, a little bit more to the upside. Also check out this stock. I started buying some put options on RUN. It's trading around $42 now. I started buying put options when it was a little lower, and I've been kind of buying put options into this rally. I'm buying the $40 puts that expire June 18th. So I've still got a little time left. And the stock is put on a bear price pattern. I don't like to see a reversal like we've had today. We made a new low, and now we're kind of going higher. So, if it closes here, it's not going to be so friendly. So let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know if you want me to look at any charts. Not really playing a lot of the FX markets right now. The FX markets have gone to sleep. The dollar's in a trading range. I'm looking to, see what happens with these yen trades. I've got some long positions in pound New Zealand, but, FX, is kind of, very, in a very hibernation state, which is not unusual for FX to go quiet during the summer season, especially in August when I guess this year the Europeans maybe will go back on vacation. We'll see. So Yoni says, I'm staying on pound New Zealand. Yeah, I think so. I think one day, Yoni, you'll just wake up. That's going to be above 2 again. I think maybe I should take some profits on Zoom. I got in really at a nice entry here, but it just looks like we've broken out above this 335, and I think there's going to be some areas to roam up here. What else is going on? So let me know what you guys are trading. Yoni, what are you into? Are you trading American stocks? Are you able to trade American stocks? Scott says I'm long the Apple puts. Yeah, Apple certainly is on my radar. Not acting friendly, and it's sitting on this neckline. Yeah, it's Apple's kind of, if Apple gets under 120, I think there's going to be a giant sucking sound underneath there. So that may be a good play. I think Tesla also is going to go down. I think this moved last week to 595, 600. I think it's a fake move. I didn't want to short it today. I'm waiting a little bit more evidence, but I think Tesla is going to go much lower. So I'm not able, Suri, to share my trading screen on this platform. I wish I could. It's, just kind of a one-way conversation piece. It's, not easy to describe something when you see something visually, but I'm not able to. So yeah, I got, long this stock STEM. I don't know. I really liked the price action of it last week. I started buying it around $30. It's trading at $34 now. And I think that, so Michael says, can you tell us about Zoom? So, a couple days ago, I sent like an email to short Zoom. And when the market doesn't do what I'm thinking, it would look like it was rolling over. It was sitting on a precipice. It was trading at 318, 319, 320. And I told our members to go short at 318 on a stop. And it never saw that price, hit like 319, 320, and then, started going higher and started going above Thursday's high, which was around 326. And when it started violating that, I just reflexively started going long. And then on Friday, we closed right into the old resistance around 335. And we've hit this so many times now that when you revisit on Friday, I was speculating it's not going to stop there this time. So what happened today was Zoom opened lower. Went down to, I started buying at 334, 333, 332. It went down to about 331 as a low. And my thing is, if something closes on the high of the day and then opens lower, it's usually got to come through that unchanged. And since I speculated that it closed right at that 335, 338 area, that we've hit this area so many times. So now what my feeling is, old resistance, is going to become like new support. So, it was banging up against that 335, fell off. Now you kind of revisit it. Now I think you're going to go through there. And now, that's going to be, so I think you could get a short squeeze in Zoom. You could see this thing pop very quickly. So I don't know if it's a short covering rally, Michael. I don't know, how far it's going to go. I just, to me, half the battle in trading is buying something at the right price. So my thinking is, find areas where you can really minimize risk. So my thinking is, if, in a lower opening in Zoom, how low is it going to go? It closed at like 337. It went to 331. I'm going, it's not going to go that. So I bought into a lower thing, and then where it went after that, I don't know how high it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go, but I got in at a very good entry. So now, my risk, is taken care of. And now where this thing goes, I think there's a lot of blue sky for this thing to roam in. I mean, I think it could go back to 380, 400 easily. I kind of, really pissed. I didn't trade Beyond Meat this morning, and I missed that entry. I was, working on getting in Zoom, and I missed the entry in Beyond Meat, and it just kept going higher. I think Beyond Meat's probably going to go to 180. I think QuantumScape is in a short covering squeeze. I had some call options in QuantumScape. So what else is going on? Zoom's trading at 341. High's been about 343.70. So I got so many shares, I might just start banging out of some of them. But I just think there's a lot of area for ZM to start running right now. Fastly, I haven't watched that. I know that came off quite a bit. But, I think there's just going to be, some. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that chart. I don't know. It's kind of a funky looking bottom. I wouldn't really trade that. Looks like the air has been let out of that balloon. Looking at the stock RUN, I just feel that it's in a very bearish weekly head and shoulders formation, and I think into this rally. I don't know. I keep on buying the put options. I'm buying the 40 put options that expired June 18th. I started paying between $1.30 and $1.50 for these things. So Jazz NKLA Nicola. Yeah, it looks like it's put on a little bottom there. I think, all the dogs look like they're going to run now. All of the, old dogs, the SPACs that have been killed, they look like they've, I'm looking at maybe Plug Power. Plug looks like it's put on a little base. I don't know. I just don't know how far these things, how much energy they're going to go, how much they're going to run off these things. So, Hey Ayub, how you doing? So Scott says I built a small position in dollar Canadian. Yeah, so these dollar trades have kind of gone to sleep. Dollar's possible it could go sideways for a while, but I like dollar Canadian short long term. I can't see how this rallies very much, and even if it does, I would just short into the rallies. Pound New Zealand is doing its tricks between 196 and 198. Let me see what Pound New Zealand's doing today. I barely watch this thing. I got a position in, and every time it gets to 198, it looks like the end of the world. It's going to come apart, and then it finds a way to get up there again. So, my view is you just keep buying the dips in Pound New Zealand dollar. Francis says, will QuantumScape go lower? I actually started buying QuantumScape today, Francis. I think there's a short covering rally that's going on. And so, no, I would not. It could go lower, but right now I wouldn't touch it. It's, all these meme stocks, these GameStop, the AMC, Beyond Meat. The market is really hunting. You got to be very careful about being short right now. As I've been saying, I'm short this stock RUN, and even that ran up. Went to 41, and then it kind of hit double bottom down there. And now it's trading over 42. So I don't know. I'm long the puts. It's very difficult to be short stock right now because they could really come for you. And these short squeezes are. Hey Mustafa, how you doing? I've been talking about a long position. I think I put this in the entry for the elites. Mustafa, the STEM. I forget where my entry was. It was around $30 or something like that. And now STEM's gone over $34. It's up 7% today, up $2. So I got a bunch of shares in STEM. I also got long ZM, into an early dip this morning. And then I'm just taking a flyer. I'm buying a bunch of puts on this RUN. So I had QuantumScape, I had the calls, I had the stock. And when it ran a little bit this morning, I don't know. I got such a big menu on. I just wanted to take some profits off the table and kind of upset because this thing could, go to $35 now. It could just be a short covering rally. But, at the same time, it could be back at $26. So kind of just got a little off the table there. Francis says, what made you go long stem? So there was a number of things, Francis. If you look at the weekly, it traced out this big head and shoulders. Let me just go there so I know what I'm talking about here. So even on the daily, it traced out this huge head and shoulders. One of the shoulders was at 38, then it went to 50, then it traced out the right shoulders, then it kind of broke under the neckline at $20. And then it kind of started rolling around, and now it's come right back up to, the top of one of the shoulders. So now, and it's formed like an inverted head and shoulders. So it's got like kind of a rounding bottom at that $20. Then it's got these two shoulders. And so, it kind of turned from one bear formation into a bull formation. And now there seems like there's so much white space. There's so much space for this thing to roam. The next resistance is about $36, and then the next resistance is at $50. And I just feel like this thing just wants to, giddy up and get going. And I don't really like to, understand about what a company does. I made the mistake of looking at what this company does, and it seems like they have a very good, business. But I don't like to get involved in stories because, then you justify your position. And I just look at price. And there's something about this price on the daily and then the weekly that just suggests, I don't know. I just found this. I don't know how I found it. I think somebody was talking about it on one of the news broadcasts. So whenever somebody talks about something, I don't listen to what they say. I then go to the price chart. And it looks like this thing could just be, it just could uncork. I just get the feeling that this thing could, it has the same look as Upstart, UPST, that, came out right now. Now it's trading about $170. Mustafa says, what about the NASDAQ? I don't know. These indexes, I'm not really trading the indexes. They're trading around these all-time highs. Tough to be, bearish right now, Mustafa. This certainly could roll right here. But until we have further evidence, I'm kind of staying away from it. We're still hovering at these all-time highs. So just looking at the S&P, Dow Jones, they're just kind of stalling out right at these areas, but especially the Dow Jones, I don't know. I mean, I just need a little bit more evidence. Francis, what was the entry criteria for STEM? I got to admit on that one, Francis, I chased that one. I hate to chase price. I always look for some kind of setup, and I just got in. I just got in on a feeling, and just like seemed like such an aggressive bullish chart. And I hate to chase things, but I just bought that. I forgot where my entry was. It's around $30. What else is going on here? So I'm keeping an eye on this RUN. I just feel like that thing's got nowhere to go on the upside. So it's probably a good thing to sell into this rally. Gareth says pound is in a pullback. Is it still going to go higher? So this is what the pound New Zealand does. Every week it goes to 198, pulls back, looks so scary up there, and then somehow it finds a way to get back to 198 again. So I don't know. I just kind of trust it. I don't even watch that thing. I just, I have established long positions, and I'll trust that it's, one day I'm going to wake up, it'll be 1,000 pips higher. So I think Run is still a sell candidate, Vikrasana. I never like to see something go to a low and then kind of, go higher, but, we're far from the close. So, we'll have to see how this thing closes, because it went to a low area and now we went higher, but I don't trust that it's going to hold. I've been buying puts into this rally, but it's really a gamble. It's not really the greatest price action. When I'm looking to short something, what I prefer is something to go higher, short into it, and then watch it go down. What happened was Run went lower and now it's coming back up. So kind of the opposite of really what I'm looking for, but I just feel that it's, it doesn't, I have to see how it closes. The close could reshape everything the way I think about this thing, but I still feel, let me just kind of relook at it right now. A lot of these stocks are, got this double, this bearish price patterns, and then they get into this area and then they support. I was shorting AYX. There's another stock called VRTX. And so they get in this area and they, it's definitely a lot of support here between 37 and 40. It's probably a mistake to get as aggressively short as I did. I just can't see any room on the upside. So if something's not going to go up, it's going to go down. But the opposite, what also could happen is that you could also go sideways. And, sideways, when nothing's going on, then your premiums in options start to shrink. So you don't want to see things go, sideways either. So I don't know. It was probably not a great, I just feel like there's nowhere for this thing to go on the upside. So, I don't know what you're playing with there, but I would short into this rally. So Joey says, what's your win ratio on trades? I don't even think about it. To me, it's the quality of your winners. And I've had half a dozen standout winners this year. Usually I probably have 3 good trades a year. This year I've got 2 7-figure trades and a bunch of, mid, $100,000 trades. And then, I'll lose a whole bunch of times in between. I don't really count my win-loss. It's a superfluous thing. To me, it's, your winners. It's the quality of your winners needs to outgun your losers. And I've certainly done that this year. So the win-loss ratio is kind of meaningless. I could tell you I win 30% of my trades, but the 30% of the trades that I won, I just hit it out of the park. When I made seven figures last week in BYND, I bought 5,000 shares. So that was a cost of about 600 grand. And then I bought 70 options. And that was about a $100,000 investment. So, yeah. So it took about $1.6 million. No, I'm sorry. No. 600 plus one, 700,000 to make 1.1. Yeah, this run does not want to go down. And the stem just keeps this stem does not back off. I don't know where my takeout on that thing is. I think there's some resistance around 36. I just feel like this thing, I hope that I can hang on, because I just feel like this thing is going to really run. Francis wants to know about New Zealand dollar versus the yen. So, these yen trades have had a huge run up. They're kind of stalling out at their highs. But, the New Zealand yen is a case of, higher lows. So it's just, stair stepping higher. So I think you got to be long these yen trades. New Zealand yen, it's got resistance at this 80, but I think it's, got higher lows, higher highs. It's just in this channel that's going higher. So I like that, Francis, long term. Just check out the euro yen right now. Yeah, that's kind of putting on a reversal for the week. We'll see how that does. So yeah, these yen trades, the one pair that I'm really looking at is dollar yen. See what this thing does here. Because this thing looks like it's at another area where you can short it. But I'm not ready to dive in just yet, although it looks like a very fertile short opportunity again at 109. And if it, craps out here, it's going to go back to 100. So you know exactly where the take profit on that is. So the way I would play dollar yen is put a sell stop around 108, just not to be, caught up in all the noise. CRON. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know. This is kind of a double bottom back there. This thing could, catch a little fire here. If you want to play around with it, you could probably put $1 stop on this thing. Am I still short Tesla? No, I'm not, but I am looking to get short Tesla. I think that's had a significant break in the chart, in the long-term chart. And if we get back to 550 again, it's going to be one of these descending wedges. And I think eventually it'll give way and, we'll see 450 on this. So I think the best days of Tesla are behind it. So we're going to have a little, what looks like an inside day bar today. And I would just put a sell stop under today's low. Now, look, let's see where we finish. I mean, it could collapse by the end of the today. It could be anywhere. But right now, the high and low is within the high and low of Friday. So what I would do is I'd put a sell stop under today's low, put a stop loss above today's high, and you could get $100 out of that trade. So, Mustafa, I'm not sure the markets are going to collapse right now. I'm not sure about that at all. So I wouldn't count on the market collapse. So you have to look at every, entity unto itself. Notwithstanding whatever the market's doing, you have to kind of look at the integrity of that, risk reward setup. So let me just kind of look at run right now. So you have this little reversal right now. I hate to see these where you made a new low. You're now kind of at the high end of the bar, but I just can't see this thing, pushing much higher. But on the other hand, if we push higher and we close on the high, I'm not going to love that look. I'll be honest with you. So, I don't like this action. There's a lot of, support here at this 37 to 40. And I probably should have had more discipline and waited. But I just can't see this thing going much higher. So, but I wouldn't bet on the market. Whatever the market's going to do, it's going to do. This is not really a market stock. Yeah, I still like shorting that. Come on, I did look at CRON. Like I said, you could probably take $1 risk on that thing. I don't know. It's one of these funky looking things. Don't know. For ZM this morning, what was your risk level at? So, there are certain trades, Michael, and I hate to say this, is where I feel like I have no risk. So when Zoom closed at 338 and today, in the pre-market session was trading at 334, I just started buying on the supposition that we're going to go back through that 338. So, I got like a $4 gift. And then it kept on going lower and I kept on buying lower. I bought at 333. And then in the aftermarket, once it opened, it went down to 332. And I just felt like I had very little risk to no risk. Because I felt like, if the market closes up here and then, the opening is down here, especially on a bar that had a huge reversal. And I was also surmising that we were going to go through this old, resistance. What was old resistance at 335 to 340 now is probably going to be new support. This thing's probably going to cut through here. So, to me, it was just a gift where they gave me this thing $5, $6 lower. I'm going, this is not going $12 or $15 lower. And so I felt like I had very little risk. And I bought a lot of shares into that. I bought 7,000 shares. And I felt like I had no risk, none. So once, I just feel like once I get there, at least the market was going to come back to unchanged. What it does there, maybe it then comes back down. Maybe then I got to, get rid of some or what have you. I haven't gotten rid of any. I'm still kind of in there because I think that, now it's above this 340. It could really soar. And so, now I've got the market by the tail. I'm in at 332, 333, 334. It's at 340. So now I'm just sitting back and saying, I don't have a lot of risk here. So now I'm playing with the market's money. Wherever it's going to go, let's kind of see what it does. But I have a feeling it's going to really go. Because, what was old resistance now becomes like a new support. So I don't have a lot of time this morning. I've got to go to a physical therapy in a few minutes. So I'll just stay on for a little bit more. If you guys got any questions, anything you want to talk about, STEM is still going strong. Let's see. Run is making new highs. I'm really getting hurt. I bought a lot of options on this thing. And this is not really good price action. It's, going back to the high of the day right now. Then Valentina says, do you think Apple's going lower? So, Apple is sitting on this long-term trend line, and it usually bounces off this trend line. This time it looks a little weak up there, but, Apple is still strong. It's still a question of these lower highs. So, I just think you got to watch. I watch that 120 area. If you get below 120, you could really kind of trigger something that goes lower. So, yeah, there seems like there's just a lot of resistance in Apple right now. Jerome says AAL. And then I'm going to run in a few minutes. AAL looks like it has a lot of resistance at 26. A lot of these charts that are getting kind of back to pre-COVID levels, I think that you probably could buy this on a dip. There's a lot of resistance here. This wouldn't be my favorite trade. But you know, stranger things have happened. It looks like the bottom's been put in, so should work higher over time. Man, this run is running away from me. It's making new highs, so I'm getting really hurt on this one. So hopefully STEM and Zoom can make it up for me. Mustafa, thank you. So Gamas says, what are you long on? So I'm long Zoom, ZM. I'm long STEM. And I have some put options on RUN that, you know, right now this thing's running away on the upside on me. And I went pretty big. So this is not good price action. You don't want to see things make a new low and then go higher. It's kind of doing that on the weekly too. So there's, you know, some support in here. I mean, there's just support in here. A lot of these charts look like this where they look so bearish, but there's like interim support at certain levels, you know, that I don't think over time are going to shoot these things higher, but it just means that, you know, they're going to work their way lower. I don't know. I still feel you could short into this rally, but there is some support here. So it just may take some time. I've got till the 18th. I figured I had these options till the 18th. And Philippe says, I'm ready to bet on the downside of Baidu. So let me just check that out. Yeah, I got to run. I got to really run. I'll look at this. Yeah, Baidu looks terrible. I would short that. Yeah, BYND looks good for 177. It does look like it broke out, and I wish I you know, was buying Zoom, and by the time I got done with that, BYND kind of started going up, and I didn't react to it. And I just felt that was on my list today. I wanted to get in there. Thanks, Genevieve. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Sorry, I got to cut it short today. Thanks very much. I'll